Today, we're stepping into the world of Power Query, Excel's built-in tool for cleaning, transforming, and preparing data. Think of it as a data workshop where you can fix mistakes, reorganize columns, and get everything looking perfect without touching a single formula. We'll use our sample file, Sales Overview, which lists sales by month, product, and salesperson. But like in real life, it's not perfect. Some dates are formatted as text, some numbers have extra spaces before them, and there are even a few empty rows and cells hanging around. This is exactly the kind of mess Power Query loves to clean. In Excel for Windows, Power Query lives under the Data tab in the Get and Transform Data group. On Mac, you'll find it under the Data tab as well, often behind the Get Data button. To start, you select your data. In our case, I highlight any cell in the Sales Overview table, then go to Data. Choose from Table Range. Excel will ask to confirm the range. If your data isn't already a table, it will automatically convert it for you. Always check the My Table Has Headers box, so the column names like month and year, product, amount, and stock stay intact. This takes us into the Power Query Editor, your data workshop. In the middle, you see a preview of your data. It's not the live data yet. It's a copy that Power Query works with until you save the changes. On the right, you'll see the Applied Steps panel. This is where every move you make is recorded. Changing a column's data type, renaming headers, removing rows, all appear here in order. You can click the little X to remove a step, or drag steps up or down to reorder them. When you first open Power Query, you'll already see two steps: Source, which just tells Power Query where the data is coming from, and Change Type, which is Power Query's attempt to automatically guess the column types. Since we want to decide on data types ourselves, we'll remove that change type step for now, so our list of steps is clearer. Every change you make is recorded as a step. Think of it like recording a recipe. If you remove empty rows or cells, Power Query writes down remove empty rows cells in its instructions. If you bring in new data with the same issues, Power Query can follow the same recipe automatically. For example, in our Sales Overview file, we might remove those blank rows, update blank cells, fix the date column so every entry follows the same format, and make sure unit price is actually stored as a number. When we get updated sales data, all we do is refresh, and Power Query repeats all these steps for us instantly. In our Sales Overview file, you might notice a few blank rows that don't contain any information. These are easy to remove. Just go to the Home tab, Remove Rows, remove blank rows. Instantly, Power Query deletes them from the preview, and a new step appears in the Applied Steps panel. Sometimes, instead of whole blank rows, you'll see null values. Those are single empty cells inside an otherwise valid row. How you handle them depends on your situation. If a null means missing but unimportant data, you might replace it with something more useful. Select the column, go to Transform, replace values, and swap null for a blank or a zero. Or if the row is incomplete and shouldn't be included at all, you can filter those nulls out by clicking the drop-down arrow in the column header and unchecking null. Once the blanks and nulls are handled, let's clean up extra spaces. But instead of cleaning one column at a time, we'll remove spaces from all columns at once. To do that, hold down Control and click on each column you want to include. If you don't, Power Query will move the column instead of highlighting it. Once they're all selected, go to Transform, Format, Trim to remove those spaces. After trimming, we'll fix the data types. There are two ways to do this. Go to Transform, Data Type under the Any Column section, or simply click the small icon in the header, the little square with ABC, 1, 2, 3, etc., and pick the new type there. In our case, we'll change unit price from text to decimal number. Then we'll also set amount and stock and unit cells to whole number, since they represent counts, not decimals. Power Query records these actions in the applied steps. Note that changing data types for multiple columns is grouped into a single change type step, not one per column, so you can always reorder or undo them later. Imagine this. Every month, your colleague sends you an updated sales overview file with the same messy issues: empty rows, inconsistent dates, and extra spaces before some product names. Without Power Query, you'd spend half an hour fixing it manually every time. With Power Query, you fix it once, save the steps, and from then on, you just load the new file, hit refresh, and your data is cleaned and ready to go in seconds. This is why Power Query is a game changer, especially if you deal with repeated data tasks. When your data looks the way you want it, you send it back into Excel by going to the Home tab and choosing Close and Load. You'll notice there are actually two options, a Close and Load, which puts the data straight into a new worksheet as a table, with no extra choices. Close and Load To, which opens a menu where you can decide exactly how to bring the data in. Open. That menu gives you 4 options. Table. This places your cleaned results into a worksheet as a standard Excel table. You can sort, filter, and add formulas beside it, just like with any dataset. Pivot table report. Excel skips the raw rows and jumps straight into a pivot table layout. Perfect if you want to analyze or summarize immediately. Pivot chart. This creates a chart directly from your cleaned data without building a table first. Only create connection. No table or pivot table at all, just a background link to the data. This is handy when you want to combine it later with other queries. Below those choices, you can also pick whether the results appear in the existing worksheet or in a new worksheet. Finally, there's also a checkbox to add this data to the data model. The data model is Excel's way of storing large amounts of data in the background, often from multiple sources, so you can build pivot tables or reports that combine them without having all the raw data sitting directly in your worksheet. For our example, we'll keep it simple. Choose Table and load it into a new worksheet. That way, our cleaned sales overview is ready for charts, pivot tables, or more formulas, but without the junk we started with. Here's the best part. If your source data grows, you don't have to redo anything. To demonstrate, I'll simply copy the entire sales overview table and paste it directly below the original one. So now we have the same data twice in the same sheet. Over in the other sheet, where Power Query loaded our clean table, I just right-click and choose Refresh. Excel automatically runs through all the recorded steps, removing blanks, trimming spaces, fixing formats, and just like that, the data updates. Because we doubled the source rows, the cleaned table now shows 120 rows instead of 60. You can also see this updated row count immediately in the Queries and Connections pane on the right. In the next video, we'll go beyond just talking about Power Query. We'll get hands-on. You'll see, step by step, exactly how I clean messy sales data from start to finish, combine fresh updates without breaking anything, and even merge multiple files into one clean dataset. Then we'll turn it all into a dynamic pivot table report you can refresh with one click. If you liked the sneak peek today, wait until you see the full process in action. Thanks for watching and happy excelling.